Gentlemen. Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rita Boom. I'm sitting here next to, in no particular order, Miss Anonymous and Misty, period. How are we doing today, ladies?
Hi, Boom.
What's going on?
What's up, girls?
What's going on?
Yeah, those listening to us on the airwaves, join us on YouTube because you got to see these faces for radio. I mean, listen, they're just too pretty to hide. So go to @whatever-it-takes podcast on YouTube, and you can see what we look like and listen and watch this episode. But I'm here tonight, guys. I want to tell you guys about the Bag of Boom. Now, ladies, that's how we met, isn't it?
The Bag of Boom. Yes, I love the Bag of Boom. It's my favorite. Yeah, I think tell everybody what it is. It's really cool.
Okay, so the Bag of Boom is 2 meetings I host a week with Grace Scott in Recovery Road Online, and it's Monday and Tuesday nights, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, with me, your host, Rita Boom. And what it is I take all these topics about recovery, and instead of just taking with one topic, which is typically what a meeting is about, one topic, and spend the hour talking about that topic, I wanted to give people options, right? So what I did was I took a bunch of topics, put them into a bag, questionable what type of bag it is, but it's a bag. That's all we need. And I pick them out at random. Sometimes we pick a topic and we share on it. And we share on it until it gets lame, or for shits and giggles, we just pick another topic to have options. On Tuesdays, it's 2-time and Tuesday, so I just automatically start out with 2 topics as soon as we start the meeting. But what we do is we share on
Tuesday.
2-time Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
because you get options right out the get-go. So what this does is it leads to lots of suggestions for sharing, which then leads to lots of sharing, which then leads to lots of recovery. And that's exactly why we go to meetings, no matter what you're in a meeting about. Am I right?
Meetings make it.
And again, if it wasn't for the Bag of Boom, I might not have met Miss Anonymous or Misty, period. And
that would be sad.
That butterfly effect would suck.
Right?
It would suck.
So, hey, why don't we do a quick round of Bag of Boom for the viewers?
Okay, cool.
All right. So, what I do is I take the bag.
It is not a Crown Royal bag.
It's not.
I totally take into effect that people have dual addictions, and I'm respectful of that. I keep it hidden. So, the first topic from the Bag of Boom is gonna be.
Yeah, where do you get that accent that you go?
So I always wanted to be like in front of a mic. So I figured if I ever did something on the radio, that would be like part of my radio. Like, yeah, and plus you ever hear like a radio personality, like, welcome to Bag of Boom.
Okay.
This is Rita Boom, your host this evening.
I love it. Okay, what's the first topic?
Okay, so my first topic that I'm pulling from the Bag of Boom is gonna be. My mom used to say to me, "You're so weird being married."
Well, actually, I heard somebody on.
I agree with her.
Online the other night when you were saying that, they were saying it too. So it's a thing.
What? Saying what?
The next topic from the Bag of Boom. Yeah. So yeah, it's a thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you learned in recovery?
Ooh,
that's a good one. First thing you learned in recovery. Who would like to go first?
Here you go, Misty.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I'll go.
All right.
Okay.
Can I have another topic, please?
And there.
I love that. All right. When I host the Bag of Boom, there's 2 things that Rita Boom loves. One is a wait list. That means where there's numerous members in the room that have their hand raised because they want to share. So there's a wait list. That gets me so giddy. Sure. Then the second thing I love is when I call on somebody and they're like, "Give me another Bag of Boom, Rita. Give me another topic, Rita."
I know, and they always apologize. Yeah, I always do too.
Yeah.
I want to make you work, but everybody's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Rita. Can you get another?" And I'm like, "I ain't sorry.
Get in that bag.
Get in that bag."
Wasn't it you, Miss Anonymous, who was like, "I don't like that one. Pick another one."
Yeah. Keep going. They suck.
I picked like 3 in one shot for you. But really, but it's great because again, there's tons of options.
Yeah. It wakes people up.
And they're completely different topics.
Because it's on 11 Central, 12 Eastern,
Mm-hmm.
Monday and Tuesday nights
Yes.
on RRO.com. Is that it?
Yep.
All right.
Yep,
What's
yep.
the next one?
Anger is an action. Pain. Oh, I'm sorry. Anger is pain turned outward. Anger is pain turned outward.
That's
Okay, I
another
like this
fun
one
thing.
better.
I think that's fun too when Rita has no idea what the topic really means and she puts it in the chat funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
it's because she can't read her own writing.
I know.
She writes like a doctor. Misty Compulsive Gambler, the date I protect is 7/24/28. Anger is pain turned outward. I don't think there's a truer statement than that. I think that it takes a lot of time and a lot of work to be able to control our emotions, and when I was deep in my addiction, everything was anger. So to hear pain is anger, yeah, I get that. Anytime my feelings were hurt, if I was afraid, if I felt like I was being backed into a corner, instead of trying to stay level headed about it, I would always get angry. That was something that I worked very hard with my sponsor, was how to find a coping mechanism that wasn't harmful to myself or other people, whether it be, physically, mentally, or emotionally. And I think that people who do have, and I'm going to speak myself from my experience, people who have unresolved issues, they're angry people. Hurting people are angry people. Whether it's because you don't understand why things happen to you and that you just got the shaft from life and it hurts. So you're mad. And I love that. I mean, it's very, very true. So thanks for the topic, Rita.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Now, do we want to pick another topic, or do you and I want to share on that?
Me and you?
Yeah.
No. Back in the bag, bitch.
All right. Great answer, though, Misty. Great answer.
So good. It actually made me want to think a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Hey, hurt
Than
people.
I normally do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I feel like anger to a lot of us goes inside, that pain comes inside instead of outside.
Yeah. Because you don't want to look weak. So you're not going to show the pain. And I feel like anger is a masculine emotion.
I do too.
And so to seem stronger, I'm going to be angry instead of being hurt.
Mm-hmm. I was just so frustrated with myself, and I would just get so angry because I knew what I was doing was wrong. I knew that I got too far when I relapsed, and I started breaking things. I broke 3 iPhone 15s. Do you know how expensive that is? First off, second of all,
there's definitely physical effects from it.
Yeah,
it's terrible. It just goes into every part of your life and into anybody around you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, it just.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. Next topic. Right. That was a good topic.
Thank you. Yeah, it made me feel my feels a little bit.
Glad you figured it out.
Sounded it out. All right. Where do you struggle in recovery? Ooh, where do you struggle in recovery?
This is weird, but the only place I struggle in recovery, knock on wood, is with, this is terrible, some of the people in the rooms. I mean, it's just, and I get it that there's many personalities and this and that, but sometimes I'm just like, can we all be decent to each other?
Mm-hmm.
Can we just not do that? I mean, isn't the shit bad enough that we don't have to be mean to each other? And I have a problem with that, and it's just like, but that's how the world is, and I know that, but that's
a lot of sick people too, man, in these rooms, and a lot of personalities.
So many personalities, but I think that's the only thing I really struggle with, but it really does get me when it does.
It can be so petty and trivial at times.
It's so
what I mean?
There's so much, I think, jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, just waiting for somebody to fall sometimes, or
there's no ownership for when people do wrong. It's always somebody else's fault, or or they flip the script and there's gaslighting.
That's the difference between abstaining and recovering. So a lot of people are abstaining, which again, I say, if that's what you can do, that's what you can do. But while you're here, why not work the steps and get recovery?
And listen, I still have my moments where I act immature in that, or I might pop off. But I know I've grown a lot.
I know it more.
If you look at the personality of a gambler on a whole, like as a consensus, we have big personalities.
That's a big,
and most of us, we always want to be right. We don't want to admit when we're wrong. And so you put a whole bunch of us in a room,
but
we're assholes, and we're trying not to be assholes.
But the point I'm trying to make is we're all in recovery, though.
Yes.
Take it somewhere else.
I know. It's like, why you got to beat up?
Why you got to beat up on the people that are already
worry about what I'm doing. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Worry about what you're doing.
I really liked it when I came into recovery, and it was like, just take care of your side of the street. I was like,
that's my biggest problem with recovery.
Put it. Yeah. And I had to learn that. Sure did.
Yeah.
Anyway, next topic.
Get in that bag, Rita.
Yeah, let's do it.
Get in the bag.
One more. Topic for the bag of boom is gonna be.
I love the bag of boom. I could do this all night.
I know. I bag of boom, right? It's so much fun. Boom. And it's giving me my new alter ego, Rita Boom.
Rita Boom. Even my parents call you Rita Boom.
I know, right? That's the next license plate. I'm going to have to retire, mix this eventually. Did you lead a fabricated life?
Ooh.
Yes.
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 Yep.
Yes.
Eventually. Not at first, but because I truly was. When I came into in 2020, I was like, I knew. I grew up in recovery, so I knew I got in meetings. I got to start doing this. I knew the process of it, and I knew. But then, and I wanted, and I knew I had a problem. And then when I started living a good life, then it started getting. I saw my recovery came second, and that's when it became fabricated and superficial and blind, like oblivious.
Well, yes,
to what's going on around me.
Exactly. I said yes to that. I think that was even one of my topics because that was one of the things that slapped me in the face about living a fabricated life. I never really thought about it, but once I did, I was like so ashamed.
I knew I was living a lie. I knew I lied all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I lied about where I was. I could look you straight in the face and lie to you, and I didn't have a tell.
Did you feel bad about it at that time when you?
No,
I did.
I did.
Because I know how precious time is, and I know I just knew. I knew the outcome of what was going to happen in the back of my head, and I took for granted so much time that I should have never taken for granted, and wasted so much time with people that I will never get back. And I wasn't present for things that I should have been mentally present for years.
Oh yeah, I yes, but I had tunnel vision. Like my vision was tunneled. I loved the people around me, but I was going to do anything I had to do to be able to place a bet. And if it meant lying, I was going to lie. And I didn't feel remorse at the time. After it was over, after the last dollar was spent, that's when I was remorseful. And I hated myself. Yes. I had so much shame.
Yes, absolutely.
The shame was the worst part.
I knew. I'm like, listen, you're like, I'd be like, if you don't do A, B, and C, they're going to suffer, but I'm still going to pick gambling before it. And I wasn't even enjoying it. It was a compulsion thing. It was because I knew I had 30 minutes to get it in. And like, I couldn't, like, it was sick. It was like, I knew what I was doing was wrong. I knew that it was going to, my business was going to suffer. My relationship was going to suffer. My just life in general was going to suffer, but I picked that fucking gambling instead. And it's like, it didn't. I just knew it was
I had
wrong.
no
I don't know what was
idea.
wrong with me.
I had no idea. I never stopped and thought about it.
I knew it was wrong,
I
especially when I relapsed.
Well, I knew that the line was wrong and all that, and the brain fog was so thick, and all of this was so fast, that my head was spinning.
Do you guys ever have a hard time looking back on the person that you were?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
Like a lot of times I can't think about it.
I don't.
I can't think about it.
I honestly don't, because back
I have
then
no choice.
that's too much. Right. That's too much PTSD for me.
Yeah. I think back like when I made the statement that I was okay with lying. Now, my mind immediately went to Abby. Immediately.
Yeah.
Because I know now how bad those lies hurt her.
Mhm.
And to think that I was manipulating people around me all the time,
And it's just not the person I can't even imagine you being that person, honestly.
no, like I don't feel shame now because I know I'm not a bad person,
Yeah.
but I do feel guilt. And I don't think that I'll ever not feel guilty. When we hurt the people we love.
It does get easier. One thing is time heals a whole lot of it. And that's what the trouble that I had this weekend. I had come so far, and then with one letter, it knocked me right back.
You got kicked right in the teeth.
I got kicked in the teeth, and I went right back to day one, right there after my mom died. But it's terrible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rita, pick one more topic for us.
Well, real quick on that one. One thing too that I've started doing, especially since step 4, is I've this hurts a lot. Is putting myself in the shoes of the people I hurt.
Yes.
Like not just like what I did, but like how did that make them feel?
Yeah.
Yes.
And, like that has been
that's what gets you.
Me up.
Yeah.
That's the clincher right there.
Yeah. All right, bag. Move it. Move your boom.
Get in that bag, girl.
Next topic from the Bag of Boom is gonna be.
Yep, there she goes. She's beating it to death.
I'm gonna come right through it on these days. All right. What's a friend to you? Is a friend to you?
I'm looking at him.
Me too.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know what it is? It's anyone who will do whatever it takes, because I'll do whatever it takes. What about you, Misty?
I'm going to do whatever it takes. Miss Anonymous?
Oh, me? Okay, yeah. I'm going to do whatever it takes.
What's up, guys? It's Rita Boom here, just telling you, if you enjoyed this podcast, get on there and leave some comments, all right? Whether you liked it, you didn't like it, if it's good enough of a comment, we're going to read it online. Know why? Because it helps our algorithm. That way we don't have to charge anybody anything crazy like that. So, again, leave the comments. We'll read them online. And, boom, boom, boom. Don't place a bet today, okay? All right.